Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Green Shareen. I'm an interior designer in New York City, and in this video I'm going to give you 5 quick things you can do in preparation for getting your home in order for 2021, because it is coming in 3, 2, First thing that I would recommend that you do is pick a 15-minute project. Oftentimes we have these different projects that we need to get done in the house and we make them giants in our lives, and they really aren't. You probably think it's gonna take forever, but you will be amazed at what you can get done in 15 minutes. Pick the junk drawer, for example, or the linen closet maybe. Let's go through and get rid of what does not belong in there. Let's get rid of the sheets that we have for bed sizes that we don't even own anymore. Let's get rid of some of those that are old and ratted and tatted, because frankly, we only need probably 3 sets of sheets for each bed. 1 on the bed, 1 in the wash, and 1 in the closet, so that you can change it out if need be. So if you have more than that, you probably have more than you need, and it's just about time to replace it. Speaking of, I think I'll do a video on when to replace certain things in your home, but that's to come. Pick a 15-minute project and knock it out. The junk drawer, I'm looking at you. Set a timer, 15 minutes, open it, clean it out, and then you might find that there are some things that are in there that do not belong in there, that can go somewhere else, and it may even help you with another project, who knows? So that's 1. All right, that was number 5. Tip number 4 is decluttering your tech. Some of the biggest holiday gifts are tech gifts. There's an upgrade, it's the, it's this version of the new gadget and this version of the new tablet and that version of the new gizmo and this update for the new speaker. How many of those do you have in your house and how many do you actually need? Take some time and declutter your tech. Go through the technology in your home, figure out what you actually want to keep and use, get rid of what you don't need, and set a date to donate it responsibly or sell it, and make sure you get it out of here. If you can't sell it by that date, maybe it's January 4th, maybe it's January 5th, then you take it and you drop it off in one of those little bins in front of Best Buy or Lowe's, where you can responsibly get rid of those devices that have specific types of batteries in them. So declutter your tech. And while you're at it, you might find that you have some extra cables for things that you don't even know what they're good for. I'm just saying. And if that's the case, those can go as well. While you're at it though, take a look for some longer cables. Cable management is something serious. When you look at the photos in magazines, or you look at your Pinterest boards or whatever other inspiration boards you have out there, there probably are no wires and cables. And so if you have a lot of cables going through your house, the answer is probably a longer cable. So while you're decluttering your tech, look for your longer Cat5 cable, your longer HDMI cable, grab those, swap out the ones that you're currently using, and then you can run them nicely or neatly along the floor, along your baseboards, or actually mount the TV and have it behind the wall because you have a longer cable. So that's a pro tip right there for you with cable management. Tip number 3, move your plants around. You probably have plants in certain areas, and it may be the only place that that plant can survive, but it may not. It may do just fine in another room. It may do just fine in another space. It may even like the change of scenery. Maybe it'll remind you to water it when you're supposed to. Take some time and do some research on your plants. If you're taking down a Christmas tree right now, it's a great time to assess where your plant life is and where it should be. Don't forget to occasionally rotate them, give them a little bit of love so that if they're near their windows, they're not all angled this way, heading towards the window or heading towards the sunlight, because they will favor that sunlight. But if you turn it or move it around, then you give yourself a little bit of a better chance of having a more straight plant versus something that's lopsided. All right, tip number 2 is magazines and newspapers. OMG. All right, it's the end of the year. We all know that as much as we try to minimize the shopping, everyone's interested in the latest and greatest. So you're interested in the latest and greatest IKEA catalog, or you're interested in the latest and greatest restoration hardware book, which means when those catalogs come out, these catalogs that you have are old and done. Take this time to gather those up and get rid of them. But just before you do, let's do tip number 1. Tip number 1 is a vision board. So plan your vision party or do your own vision party at home. Maybe you can FaceTime some people and do it with them remotely. But when you grab those magazines and newspapers, say one final goodbye to them by going through them and picking out the images that inspire you, that are encouraging you to get to the next level and what things you're aspiring for in 2021. Cut those things out and place them on your vision board. One thing that I do with my vision board in order to make sure that I am reusing as much as possible is I actually use the same board. I just flip it over year after year and like turn it back and forth, and then I'll remove old pieces. Sometimes I'll take the board, I take a photo of it, and then I actually store the board throughout the year, but I just have the photo to reference in different areas whenever I want to look at it. But take some time to go through those magazines, add that to your vision board, and then when you're done with that, guess what happens to those magazines? And you have a great reminder of what you want your space and what you want your home or your business or your family life to look like in 2021. 2020 was a challenge for, I believe, everyone. And now that we know what we're up against and now that we know what our situation looks like, we can actually plan some goals that are attainable according to our current circumstance. So take some time to think about what you want to strive for in the coming year and the adjustments that you need to make in your life in order to achieve those goals. Oh, and if you haven't seen my other video on decluttering, I will link it up here. It gives you some of the foundational steps to decluttering. You should definitely check that out. I would really appreciate it if you would like, comment, and subscribe. Some of the things on my vision board have to do with the number of subscribers on this channel, and I'm really trying to get that number to climb. The more that you like it, the more that this video will be shared on YouTube, and other people will get this knowledge and get to spend this fun quality time with me, as I love spending this quality time with you. Take care and have a safe and happy new year. Happy 2021. Thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere on YouTube, but you chose to be with me, and I appreciate that. I am thankful for you, and I will see you next year, next Thursday to be exact, in 2021. Happy New Year.